why we moved to a different state. People do it all the time. Well, my whole life, my wife's whole life, we grew up in a state far north of us now, and most of our family's from there. By most of it, an awfully lot. Each of our families are. And been like that, and most of them are still there. So why did we? Well, got to talk and got to thinking, and we thought this was probably what's best for ourselves and our family, especially with the way the world is now, the way the country is now, and the way we foresee events unfolding. Hopefully not, but we thought, let's get prepared, or at least get a head start, if that's a way to figure it out, or an advantage. So we moved, and still getting sort of acclimated to things, still getting things figured out. We've been here a while, but I just want to highlight some of the differences and the reasons we chose, where we chose, and just go into that a little bit if anyone's interested. So we moved, and we came to the state, and one of the biggest selling points for us was no permits. What does that mean? That means no permits. It was foreign to me, because the state I came from, if you wanted to add on to your home, you needed to go get a permit. If you wanted to, do major construction in your property, add a pole shed, add a pole barn, a shed, you need to go get a permit, building permit. If you want to add a deck, you got to go get a building permit. Even where we were from, that state, I remember one year, this is a dozen years ago or so, they had a company had a special, you buy now, it's free install. So we just needed a dishwasher. Our dishwasher broke. It was out of order. So we just needed a dishwasher. Well, you go buy from another place, they'll free install. I thought, great. I mean, dishwasher's not a big deal installing this, but it is. It's free install. Take advantage of it. So I called him up, and I remember he said, okay, yes, we do a free install, that kind of stuff. And after going, setting up the time, that kind of stuff that he'd be here, and he said, well, your total is, I forget the exact amount, but it was close to $60. And I said, what? I thought it was free install. He said, it is. But we need to pull a permit. It says here we need to pull a permit to install a dishwasher or replace the dishwasher that you have. And I said, you got to be out of your mind. I said, it's a dishwasher. So in order to replace an item, an appliance we had in our house, because it broke, in order to replace that and have someone install it, we needed to pull a permit. So you're crazy. I said, well, forget it. I don't want it. I found somewhere else, bought it from there, and we just install it ourselves. I'm like, that is government intervention beyond imagination. I mean, it was out of my mind. This is like a dozen years ago or so. That's how crazy it is. Were they going to do anything if it was installed wrong, or if something happens to it, or warranty it? Absolutely not. All they wanted was that money. So then we could pull a permit, which is permission. So we could get permission to change our dishwasher. Think about it. It's our land, our home. In order to change something, we need to go get permission and pay for it. That's insane. That was one of the largest selling points, because where we're at now, there is no permits. You want to throw another house, if you have a lot of land, you want to throw a house on it, you can. You want to throw a trailer on it, you can. If you want to add on to your home, you can. If you want to build a deck, you can. No permits. You don't have to pay for permission. Don't have to ask for permission. Don't have to go get permission to do on your land and to your home what you wish. That's the way it should be. Go back to where we were at before. Like I said, the dishwasher just blew my mind. But same different home, same state. We had a siding issue. All it was fading, and it was within a few years. So I went through all the steps, all the process, all the back and forth with the company, and they warranted the siding. So we got everything replaced, and I had to search out someone to install it, and then they covered the cost of what the installer was saying it would be to install it. And then I was told I needed to go get a permit. Needed to go get a permit to do this. I said, you're crazy. I refused. I said, I'm not. I said, if they drive by and then they want to show up and say, hey, you got to stop what you're doing unless he pulls a permit, so I'll deal with them then. So, but that's freaking crazy. Excuse my language. And then same house. This is the same house. We had major wind damage to our roof. We had shingles and other major stuff that happened to it, damage. We need to get it replaced. So I was told, well, you got to pull a permit for that. And I said, you're out of your mind. Pull a permit to fix something on a home that is mine, on land that is mine. Granted, I'm paying taxes for it, so is it really mine? In the bigger scheme of things, that's a different story, but you want me to pay for permission and ask permission to fix something that a storm, wind damage did? I refused. Same deal. Said, they talk to you, tell them to come talk to me. Because that's something I could not comprehend. Needed explained. And if they were willing to, I would have listened. Doesn't mean I would have agreed, but I would have listened. So that's where we were at, because we don't have to pay for permission. We don't have to ask permission to do anything on our land, to our home, anything like that. Also, here you can burn your own trash. We have burn barrels. We can burn our own trash. I know my parents who are still in that same state that we moved out of. They came down and they're experiencing that, and both their comments were, geez, I remember doing this when we were little. When we were young, you used to be able to do that. Well, you can't do that anymore in the state we're at. I was like, yeah, you haven't been able to do that my whole life. So they were reminiscing, like, this feels free. This feels like, more freedom, more like it's yours. And I said, absolutely. Do you not need a permit to carry a gun? The state I came from, you needed a permit to carry a gun. And the state I came from, you needed to either go in and fill out forms and then send it in and pay a fee to get your permit to purchase a firearm, or get your carry permit. If you had your carry permit, which there was a fee and a class and all that. I thought the class was great, I always did it, but just the whole idea behind that, I have to do this and pay for permission from some people who people call government, some people who want to oversee my life and my livelihood. I have to pay for permission to do what I need or want to do. So we moved here to get rid of that, and it's been just amazing. Down here, people actually talk to their neighbors, and they actually look out for their neighbors. It's not, there was some from the state that I came from. There was a few select people who did that around us, a few neighbors, but not everyone. Some neighbors, I lived there for years, I didn't even see outside, really. I didn't talk to, didn't reach out, nothing. Down here, it's not only a select few. Down here, it's everyone, and everyone's welcoming for the most part. It's been a different world. And down here, down here, I've never been called sir. So much in my life, ever. It's foreign to me. It's nice and endearing, but it's foreign to me. You get called that from the richest of the rich, poorest of the poor, everyone. It addresses everyone with, utmost kindness. It takes me a while to get used to that, because I feel like I'm not returning that, because that's not the way I grew up, with all that respect, firsthand. And then I got guns. And you could shoot on your property. I could do that back where I came from. There was a little stipulations to it. You had to own so much acreage, that kind of stuff, to be able to do that. Here it seems like as long as you're careful and you know what you're doing, and you're safe about it. You should be able to do whatever you want on your property, and that's the way it should be. And beyond all that stuff, the taxes, the property taxes, are tremendously lower. Just to give a hint, where I came from, last to here, our property, and this is no joke, I'm not throwing stuff out of proportion, our property that we had went up, our property taxes, no new improvements, nothing really new to it. Maybe, nothing really. Just some yard stuff. But our taxes went up $1,000 every year, almost $1,000 every year. When we moved into our home that we had built, 5 years later, we sold it. Our property taxes were almost $5,000 more than they were when we moved in 5 years prior. That's more. That's almost $1,000 a month. $1,000 a year for every year we were there. It went up. It was crazy. And was it going to stop? Was it going to slow down? It hadn't for 5 years. It seemed to speed up. It seemed to be even more. Take more and more. It seemed to get a lot worse. So that was one of the factors also, but that wasn't the main one. But that's been a great surprise here. So much lower. So I just want to say that and get that out there. I'm not telling anyone to move. I'm not telling anyone to do anything like that. We did it, and we're very happy about it. Do we miss family? Absolutely. But the saying goes, talking to people, I know one person I had met here, he made the move here where we're at, and he's from the same place that we were at for the most part, most of his life. He was with the service too, but he ended up here. And he said now, since he's been down here over the last handful of years, I think it was his parents had moved down here, his brother had moved down here, and I believe one of his cousins or two of his cousins, and he's trying to get his sister moved down here. So he said, it's going to be, someone's going to be the first. Someone will be the first. If no one comes, that's fine, as long as you visit and stay in touch. But if one person comes, one family comes, he said, that's just so tremendously great. But if it's like me, he says, multiple family members that came, he said it's more than I could have asked for. He said it's been amazing. And from him, this is word of mouth, this is hearsay, yes, but he said he's got the same feeling from a lot of his family members that have moved down here, that they're happy with what they've done, the life they've chosen, where they've chosen to live. He said it wasn't easy. I didn't try to talk anyone into it. They've come down here. I went up there. We just shared stories, and one thing after another. It feels like I was the first. Then there was a second. Then there's a fourth. Sort of a domino effect for his family. And I was telling my wife, I said, maybe it'll be like that. Maybe not. Can't expect that. But we did what we felt was best for our family and ourselves. And we are happy about that. And there's no looking back. No looking back at our option, our choice. Will we move back? I can't say no. But the hope would be that, we would be closer to family somehow. I know there's some family that's closer in different states than we're at now than we had been from where we came from, but in due time, we'll see what happens. So, didn't mean to bore you. If this bored you, whatever. Just wanted to share this experience, and if someone's thinking about it, maybe this will veer them one way or the other, or help. As always, thanks for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe, share, and as always, stay vigilant, protect yourself, protect your family, protect your wealth, and protect your health.